The Dark Triad, 3 of the darkest traits in human psychology. Currently trending in social media, specifically on TikTok. But what is it really? The Dark Triad is a term psychologists use to describe 3 personality traits that shares one thing in common: a lack of empathy. The traits present within the Dark Triad are narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. Let's start with narcissism. The term narcissism comes from the Greek myth of Narcissus, a young man so beautiful that he fell in love with his own reflection and eventually drowned trying to embrace it. In psychology, narcissism isn't just vanity. It's a personality trait, sometimes even a disorder, defined by an extreme need for admiration, a lack of empathy, and an inflated sense of self-importance. But behind all of that arrogance is usually deep insecurity. So how does one become a narcissist? Psychologists say it's a mix of genetics and environment. Some people are born with personalities that crave admiration. Others develop it from childhood experiences, like overpraise or neglect. A child constantly told they're special might grow up expecting the world to revolve around them. But a child who felt unseen might develop narcissism as a defense mechanism, convincing themselves they're better to avoid ever feeling small again. When you encounter or are close to a narcissist, you often fall into what's called the narcissistic cycle, a toxic loop of emotional highs and lows. It usually starts with idealization. They make you feel amazing. You're perfect. They admire you. You're their favorite person. Then comes devaluation. Suddenly, you're not good enough. They criticize, ignore, or gaslight you. And finally, discard. They move on, leaving you confused and drained, until they need attention again, and the cycle starts over. Psychopathy. A personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, shallow emotions, egocentricity, and a history of antisocial behavior. Key traits include manipulation, impulsivity, irresponsibility, and a disregard for social norms, which can lead to criminal activity. While it's not a formal DSM-5 diagnosis, it's closely related to antisocial personality disorder. The term psychopath became popular thanks to psychiatrist Hervey Cleckley, who called them the mask of sanity, because on the surface they seem normal, intelligent, charismatic, even likable. But beneath that mask lies emotional emptiness. No empathy, no conscience, no guilt. It's not that they can't understand emotions, they just don't feel them the same way. They can fake tears, mimic concern, or act lovingly. People often confuse psychopaths and sociopaths. Psychopaths are usually born that way, cold, calculating, and emotionless, able to fake charm while hiding their lack of empathy. They plan and blend into society. Sociopaths, however, are shaped by their environment, often impulsive, angry, and unstable. They can feel limited emotions, but struggle to control them, leading to reckless or violent behavior. Science shows that psychopathy isn't just psychological, it's biological. Brain scans reveal that psychopaths have reduced activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and empathy. They literally feel less fear than the average person. That's why psychopaths stay calm in high-stress situations, even when most people would panic. It's also why punishment, guilt, or emotional appeal rarely works on them. When encountering a psychopath, their behavior can seem confusing, even contradictory. At first, they often come across as charming, confident, and magnetic. They know exactly how to make a good impression, reading people quickly and mirroring your interests or emotions to make you trust them. But once they've gained your trust or have something to gain from you, their true nature begins to show. They tend to be manipulative, controlling, and emotionally detached. You might notice them lie easily and convincingly, without hesitation or guilt. Lack empathy. They don't genuinely care about your feelings or problems. Play mind games, twisting words or events to make you doubt yourself. Gaslighting. Show superficial charm. They can be warm and funny one moment, cold and cruel the next. Exploit others for personal benefit, whether it's power, money, or attention. Stay eerily calm in tense or emotional situations, almost as if nothing affects them. Take risks or break rules without fear of consequences. When you're close to them, you may feel drained, anxious, or confused, because psychopaths often create emotional chaos around them while remaining completely unaffected. In short, being around a psychopath can feel like standing next to a fire that looks beautiful from afar, but burns you the closer you get. Machiavellianism. A Machiavellian sees people as tools, not companions. Emotions are weaknesses to exploit, not feelings to respect. They're not necessarily cruel, just strategic. They know how to read people, how to mirror their emotions, how to say the right things to gain trust. The term Machiavellianism comes from Niccolo Machiavelli, a 16th century political philosopher best known for his book, The Prince. In it, Machiavelli argued that a ruler should do whatever it takes to stay in power. Lie, cheat, deceive, as long as the end justifies the means. He didn't believe in morality. He believed in results. And centuries later, psychologists took his name and turned it into a personality trait, describing people who use manipulation, deceit, and strategy to achieve their goals. Psychologists measure this trait with something called the Mach 4 test, a questionnaire that reveals how manipulative or strategic someone is. People with high Machiavellianism are detached, cunning, and pragmatic. They plan before they act. People with low Machiavellianism are more honest, emotional, and driven by morals. Machiavellianism shows up everywhere, in politics, business, relationships, even friendships. At work, the Machiavellian co-worker takes credit for others' ideas, plays both sides, and stays close to power. In relationships, they can be charming, until you realize every gesture had a purpose. Here are some of the tactics Machiavellians use, often without anyone noticing. 1. Charm and flattery, to lower your guard. 2. Information control, telling just enough truth to manipulate perception. 3. Gaslighting and misdirection, making others doubt their memory or judgment. 4. Strategic alliances, befriending power to gain leverage. 5. Calculated detachment, never getting too emotional or too involved. Ironically, Machiavellian traits can lead to success. Studies show that people high in Machiavellianism often excel in leadership, negotiation, and politics. Their calm under pressure and ability to separate emotion from logic can be powerful, especially in a world that rewards confidence and control. But the downside? They rarely form genuine connections, because when everything is a strategy, nothing is sincere.